Internet, Eric here. Got an interesting one, at least for me, to discuss today on the channel. We're gonna jump into the world of Herschel Gordon Lewis. If you don't know who Herschel Gordon Lewis is, I believe his nickname is the Godfather of Gore. He is pretty much, to my knowledge, the person that introduced the splatter film to the horror genre. Um, if you know John Waters is a huge fan of Herschel Gordon Lewis, and he even has some clips of the movie I'm going to talk about today in the movie Serial Mom. Today I'm going to talk about Blood Feast. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that crap. This movie came out in '63, so if you haven't seen it by now, well, that's just a chance you're taking. Now, this was my first time seeing this film as well. I had never seen any Herschel Gordon Lewis movies ever. I'd only seen that one clip that the kids are that they show in Serial Mom that the kids are watching. But I knew of Herschel. I'd seen a documentary on him, so I can respect what he's done for the horror genre. The basic plot that I was able to get from this is we follow the main villain, and he's some type of cultist. He worships I think it's the Egyptian god Ishtar, something like that. And he just has to do ritual sacrifices to try to bring, I guess, Ishtar back to life, while holding up a front as the owner of a catering business, I guess. And that's what he seeks his victims, he sacrifices them, and then he uses them in the food, I think. And then some lady, hires him for her daughter's birthday party or wedding anniversary or something, big get together. And then hilarity ensues. Now, if you couldn't tell from that description, I am not into this movie. And the reason why is it's not because of the blood and the gore. I mean, I've seen so much blood and gore over the years. My main problem with this movie is it's just so fucking boring. Now, I'm not one who is always going to shit on a movie for the acting. I mean, you get what you pay for when your budget is this low. And Herschel had pretty much no budget for this movie. The acting is what it is. Some are good, some are decent, some are awful. The main person we're following, this cultist, the murderer, whatever you would say, all he really fucking does is he talks monotonish, and he's just got crazy eyeballs and crazy eyebrows. He looks scary. That's all he does. That's all he really has to do. So I guess he gets the job done. The gore is really good for the most part, for, again, the budget that Herschel had. We have, the scene that let's see here. We have this right here, where a woman gets her tongue literally ripped out of her mouth by the dude's hands. That is the scene that is shown in Serial Mom. We have body parts being hacked off. We have a scene where the crazy guy or the murderer, whatever, he has a woman like chained up, like in like his, I was gonna say his office, but his little dungeon area, I guess, and he's whipping her with like a cat o' nine tails, and it's cheap because you can tell he's just got the cat o' nine tails, and he's just kind of gingerly hitting her in the back, and you get the blood, red paint, whatever, going on her back. You don't see the actual skin break, but you see the blood there. So it's fine for what it is. And I do like, I've always mentioned it before, I mentioned it on a couple podcasts, that I actually like the over-the-top look of this type of red blood, where it kind of looks more like paint. I've always thought that was kind of fun, kind of neat. So the gore is decent. The problem is, like I said, it's just a fucking boring movie. I don't give a shit about any of these characters. I don't care about the detectives, trying to solve the plot, because they're boring. The main characters who are not, who are part of the family that's getting the party catered for them, they're boring. The killer, he's boring. And it's just, this movie was 66 minutes. It was an hour and 6 minutes, and it was a long hour and 6 minutes. I lost interest very quick. I wanted to see where it was going to go because it's Herschel Gordon Lewis, and I wanted to actually sit and watch a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. And the problem is, when I finished, I realized I wasted about an hour of my time. It's just nothing exciting happens, nothing interesting happens, and you got this bad guy cutting up people and cooking their bodies and this and that, and it's just awful. Like I said, it reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Ilsa. I think it's called Ilsa, She Woman of the SS. It's another one of these exploitation like torture films, and that too was just so goddamn boring. It was just gratuitous violence and gore for the sake of gratuitous violence and gore. And I understand that that has a place in horror. Maybe it's just not for me, because if that's all you got and nothing else to work with, I'm done. So do I personally, and the thing, oh, man, how they kill, excuse me, kill or defeat the bad guy, it's totally by accident. It's just, it was laughable. I hated it. And I was laughing because it was so bad. Like, he's being chased. Like, they find out that they're at the party, right? And they find out that this is the guy that's killing all these women. So they have this weird chase scene. Like, they're chasing the killer, and he's like walking, like, basically to me, he reminded me of like Quasimodo, like, or Igor, because he's kind of hunched over, even though he doesn't have a hunchback, and he's got a limp. I don't know why. So he's running away, and he ends up like trying to hide from the cops in the back of a garbage truck, and the truck just, it turns on and it crushes him, and that's how he's taken out. It's just a total happenstance or accident, however you want. It was just so lame. I really, really, I personally cannot recommend Blood Feast. Hated this movie. So boring. Characters sucked. The way they killed the villain was just laughable and disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I can respect Herschel Gordon Lewis for what he's done for the genre. But, like I said, this was a long hour and 6 minutes. I will be checking out the other two on this Blu-ray, 2000 Maniacs, which I saw 20 years ago. I love the remake with Robert Englund. I've discussed it here on the channel, but I'm interested in seeing that. And then Color Me Blood Red, whatever the hell that one is. But as for Blood Feast, no. You can do something better with an hour of your time, trust me. So, short and sweet video, and the reason why this video is not very long is because there's not a lot to talk about. Blood Feast sucked. So with that, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Comment below. Tell me if you like Blood Feast. Tell me why. I would like to know the different opinions on why this has such a huge following. Is it because of the gore? Is it because it's just Herschel Gordon Lewis? I don't know. I don't get it. But with that, cheers.